Some husbands and wives aren't included.
I don't care. It's not fair, and you don't know what it feels like to be in my shoes. You don't understand.
You have to come back.
I'm not coming back until you give me the promo.
But what if you don't get what you want, Adrian?
And it is what it is. I had a fun time. And
I'm sorry, but Married at First Sight is supposed to be an experiment where people meet at first sight and get married, and they go through the process of 8 weeks. At the final day in America, they call it decision day, and you make a decision of whether you want to stay married or not. In the UK and in Australia, they call it final vows. And so for the experts and the producers to think that it's a good idea to give someone else a second go round at a process doesn't make sense to me. What did they bring Elliot back for? Was it for the drama? Make it make sense. Because it makes a mockery of the whole system. It makes a mockery of the system because now everybody's going to come and want to get their bride changed just because Elliot got away with it. And I think they're trying to copy the premise from the US one. But the difference is Michael's bride said no at the altar. This didn't happen. These people actually got married. So if it was in places like the US, they would have needed to go through a legal divorce in order for them to get married again. So this makes a mockery, and I really don't like the fact that they've brought back Elliot. But anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, season 12, episode 15. I was a bit wary of doing this review just because Elliot and Lauren are coming back for reasons best known to the producers, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, so you have, Beth and TJ there excited. They've been excited from the moment they walked down the aisle because there was instant attraction, and it seems their spark has grown. I love that they weren't asked about the SEX question. I think they might have asked for it not to be asked, which I love. And they seem to be very excited. They're going on their honeymoon. They received their envelope and they're happy. They're not even bothered about all the tension at their wedding. I don't even think they paid attention to it. I think they've just decided to focus on the two of them and see where that takes them, which is good. You have the other couples, so Karina and Paul, Dave and Jamie, Jeff and Ree. They're talking about the entertainment, Jackie and Ryan. They're sort of saying that we still don't understand what happened. We still don't understand why they were clashing, why they were butting heads, because it seemed they kept telling each other that, you're a liar, and nothing exactly came out to the open for us to sort of dissect. And I think people are at a point whereby they're tired of whiplash. They're tired of constantly trying to understand what is going on with these two people, and they've decided to leave it to them to sort out. You have Ree say, she doesn't want anything to do with it. If they decide they want to go, it is what it is. If they decide they want to stay, it is what it is. She's indifferent to it, which I think is the best attitude. And obviously Jeff is going to agree with his wife and is going to go wherever she goes. So I'm happy for that. You have Ryan reveal that he and Jackie slept in separate apartments. And so he's on his way to talk to her. He wants an apology. They're very strong-headed, these two people. They have ideas of what they think a relationship is, of what a marriage should be. And because of that, they fail to understand that things are not always going to be perfect 100%. There's no textbook to a relationship. And sadly, whatever textbooks they've read, they are stuck on that, and they don't realize that there's more to a relationship than just saying, I'm sorry, and moving on. So they sit down for a conversation, and Ryan is sort of asking her, I want an apology for what you did. And Jack is faking as though she hasn't done anything wrong. And it's like, Jackie, make it make sense. Do you know who Jackie reminds me of? That lady who ate steak and then cried when she saw the cows the next day saying, oh, I'm sorry that I ate you and whatever. It's as though she's an actress who they've brought in to perform a character, and she's going to do that, and then once she's finished, she's going to go home. Because nothing else makes sense. She was telling Ryan that you need to change yourself. If you don't change yourself, then I'm going home. I actually wanted to tell you that I'm going home today. It's like, if you wanted to tell me that you're going home today, why didn't you send a message? Why didn't you tell me that as soon as I walked in? I think Jackie's trying to save face. She knows she came across, in a funny way, and people are side-eyeing her. And I think this is why she's threatening to go home. I think she expected him to apologize and say, okay, let's give it a chance. Let's give it a go and see what happens. But I think he's just as fed up as everybody else. We're then told that, they're bringing back somebody. They've decided to give someone a second chance. They've decided to give Lauren a second chance and match her with someone older than her. Apparently, his name is Clint. He's 43. He's a pro golfer and an entrepreneur. And for me, it's like they just went and looked for the best person they could find. At the end of the day, if he's an entrepreneur, because he says he's rich and is that loaded, what is he doing on Married at First Sight? Why can't he find someone in the real world? Is he coming on the show because he wants to get married, or is he coming on the show just because he wants to have an amazing time? I didn't get that. Yeah, he's more sort of conducive to what she wants in a partner, but still, I'm side-eyeing them. I really am, because I'm asking, is this a marriage, or is this just characters that you're giving us to just keep us entertained? To my understanding, Married at First Sight Australia, the marriages are not legal, I think. I think they are sort of a promise ceremony or commitment ceremony or something to that effect. It's totally different to the, shows like in America where the marriages are legal. And so you can't swap around people, but still, it takes away the premise of the show. It takes away the legitimacy of it, because people are going to constantly be coming in and throwing a fit, and then they get another one. It's not a shopping mall where you get to choose who you want as a partner. So that I totally disagree with. Even John was saying people are not going to agree with this because he says they're bringing back Elliot, and it's like, why? So we get to find out that the experts have matched Elliot. Well, they've brought him back to the experiment because they feel that he could benefit from learning that, he's too rigid in what he looks for in a partner. So they think this is the ideal opportunity for him to learn and to grow. And it's like, seriously, so you are using women as guinea pigs to satisfy this man's urge, or to satisfy whatever he wants to satisfy. Make that make sense? I don't get it. He's been matched with Veronica, who is 32. She's a professional trainer, and also she's an actress. And this one is going to give him a run for his money. If he thought he didn't like Lauren, this one Veronica looks like she's going to be stubborn. She looks like she's going to stand toe to toe with him and stand on business, which I love for someone like Elliot. But I think he's going to have buyer's remorse, because he's going to realize that it's better the devil you know than the angel you don't. So they've matched the two of them. They've both wanted to be married, and they're both happy, to be matched. Elliot apparently was open to the idea of coming back. This is what I think. I think the producers wanted Elliot back on the show for his theatrics. And in order to do that, they didn't want to look bad by giving him a second chance and not giving Lauren a second chance. So this is why they decided to give them both a second chance. And I think with Lauren, they had to jump through a lot of hoops in order to get her back. Anyway, they revealed that the second couple to be married in this episode is Elliot and Veronica. They're both giddy, they're both excited, so I can't wait to see the theatrics when it starts. So the first wedding is Clint and Lauren. Lauren is nervous. It's to be expected, given the dumpster fire that was her marriage to Elliot. I'm actually surprised that she's come back, and she's agreed to come back after all she had to go through with Elliot. But surprisingly, her sister's not there. And we all know the theatrics that her sister got up to at her wedding. So instead, she's got two friends and two other guys. I don't know who they are. And it seems the weddings are more slimmed down as compared to their initial weddings. Because I remember on Married at First Sight USA, apparently you're allowed 25 guests, if I'm not mistaken, because I think that's what Shani said. So you have Clint, he is nervous, he comes in, he greets everybody, he stands at the altar, he is sweating up a storm, he's so nervous. And then you have Lauren come down the aisle. Lauren comes without a bouquet. Suddenly, she's taken out the little Alice band that she had for her wedding with Elliot. I don't know whether she hasn't even put in any effort. Even her hair isn't properly done up. And it's like, did they force her to just walk down this aisle? What happened? Did they say to her, "You've signed, we've got people ready, we can't turn back"? I don't get it. Her standoffishness ways, the way she was very dismissive towards Clint, I didn't like as well. That man didn't hurt her. There's no need for her to have him jumping through hoops just because somebody else caused her pain. That I thought was a bit unnecessary. So eventually you have Clint read his vows, and she's not even there. She's busy saying, oh, with the vows, I don't believe them anymore because Elliot had very nice vows and he turned out to be a bad person. So I don't buy, someone reading out nice vows to me because that doesn't dictate who the person is going to be. And I get it. Her vows, she then spoke about, the fact that she was married before to a stranger, and that marriage didn't go very well, and she really was doubtful about coming back, and now she's back. And I love the fact that Clint didn't say to her, well, you can't judge me because of that man. But he was very receptive. He didn't criticize her. He didn't stop her. He listened and he didn't judge, which was good. So they get married. At the kiss, she says she wants a kiss on the cheek. He didn't say anything. He just followed her command. And then they got to talking, and I think she realized that, oh, this is actually a great guy. They both are in e-commerce, so that they will love. And I think the moment she realizes that he's loaded, she's going to commit to him on final vows. I have a feeling she's going to commit to him because he's going to be able to help her with her business and also give her a lifestyle I think that she might not be used to. I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but I'm just saying. So we have Elliot and Veronica get married. Veronica has got her friend Emma, who I feel like, is it just me or does it seem like she's got a crush on Veronica because of how protective she is? She is just a friend. She's not family. I know some friends are closer than family, but the way she went on about it was a bit too much. Elliot comes down the aisle. There is no one on his side of the family. And I'm side-eyeing him and I'm asking myself, did he not invite them because they were disapproving of this process, or did he think I would rather they not know that I've decided to go back? They might tell me not to go back. Which is it? It didn't make sense because at his first wedding to Lauren, they were there. Why didn't he bring them? Did they refuse to come along, or was it him trying not to get their opinions in regards to his going back to the process? You have Emma, obviously the friend, concerned that why does he not have anyone there to support him? Why does he not have any family or even friends there? And so they say their vows. Veronica's giddy. She has no idea that her husband, this is the second time round. So when it comes to Elliot's vows, I didn't get them. I really didn't get them. I think he was trying to be this very knowledgeable person, this very astute, educated person, but it didn't come across. For him to say it's not every day that you get married, but for me it's every week, that wasn't funny, and I don't think it was necessary. At least with Lauren's vows, they made sense and her husband was able to understand, whereas Veronica was just standing there. She couldn't understand what was going on. She kept looking for sort of cues on what exactly was going on with this man and whatever he was saying, and she couldn't understand. And so when they walked down the aisle, you could tell that the friends were not happy. Emma and Kate were not happy. They really were not happy. They wanted to find out, why does he not have friends and what is he hinting at? Has he been married before? And so they have a reception where they have this massive table, but it's only got 4 people. And it's like, Mavs, why are you wasting money? Why are we wasting money? Why not just give them a 4-seater table or even take them to Mucky D's? That would make more sense. That's when he reveals that he was married before, but his marriage he's asked how long, he said for 3 days. And so the friends are even seeing more red flags, but Veronica is on cloud 9. She's married, she's on the show, so she's good. And you have Emma sort of saying, I'm worried that, everything seems to be going amazingly for Veronica, but she's not really looking at the red flags. And it's like, well, what do you expect her to do? To say no and run away? She can't. She's already signed on the dotted line, so she has to, grin and bear with it. You have Clint and Lauren. Lauren, they sort of go away. They have a conversation. Initially he asked her at the table, do you have siblings? She said, I have a brother and a sister, but my sister is very controversial. And thank God she didn't bring her sister back. Thank God, because the first time she was so embarrassing. Even my embarrassment was embarrassed for her. So I'm happy that she didn't, bring her, because I don't think I could tolerate any more of her sister. And I love that Clint actually laughed about it and said, oh, well, I also have a controversial brother. So the fact that Clint is easing the situation and is making her feel comfortable, you can see that Lauren is smitten. Lauren is smitten, and I wouldn't be surprised if she continues in this marriage and she actually puts in the effort. Because they ask Clint, how long were you married? Have you been married? No. Have you been in a long-term relationship? He said he was in one for 10 years and he's been single for a year and he went to therapy, which is amazing. And these are the things that Elliot didn't want to do. So I'm happy that he has done that. If they're going to commit on final vows, the two of them as a couple need to go to therapy, because she hasn't processed all the crap that Elliot put her through. And so if they don't process that, they're going to struggle in their relationship. But I'm happy that she's trying to soften up and she can see, the bright side of this relationship and the opportunities that are available to her in regards to long-term partners. So that's good. The fact that he's older, I think, is better for her, because Elliot put her through a lot and made her seem like she was ancient, like she was 100. So you have the couples on their honeymoon enjoying their time. You have Beth and TJ. They go on a helicopter ride. They really seem to be in a very good space. They really seem to like the person that they got married to. It seems from first sight, because I think TJ on his part, he came from a family where there was sort of like generations of arranged marriages. So he was open to the idea of getting married. And he met someone who was at a stage whereby she really was open to the idea of getting married as well. And they've both seemed like they clicked at first sight, and whatever spark they've had, it's just working for them. And I really love this for them, because they're really happy. They're giddy. Even in the helicopter, they kept kissing, and you had TJ say, oh, maybe we were part of the Mile High Club, because we've kissed. It was the cutest thing ever. I loved it. I really loved it. And I'm happy that at least they've brought a peaceful couple. My only concern is, and I'm going to repeat this, I hope Beth doesn't create havoc with Jamie, because I will always be team Jamie. I love Jamie, so please. And then we go to the couples where I disapprove. I am all for Lauren getting a second chance. I'm all for Katie getting a second chance, but I'm not here for this man, Elliot, getting a second chance. Anyway, Lauren, I think, has realized that this man is an amazing guy, and she's starting to relax into her role of being, a newly married wife. And so they go for a wine tasting. She's at peace. She actually says, this man really shows that he's here for a reason. And it's like, at 43, if he's not there for a reason, then I don't know what else to ask for. But then we've got Morena and Tony. That's the story for another day. They seem very giddy. They seem very excited to be in this happy space. And it's like, don't worry, the bubble is going to burst when you come to the dinner party, because you're going to meet, your worst nightmare. I love that they've stopped talking about Elliot and they just focused on the two of them, and the fact that they want children. They did speak about wanting children. He said he wanted, I think, about 3 or so, and she said she only wants 1. So I hope they're flexible in their time, in the number of children they want, because if he wants about 3, if she wants 1, then they can stop it at 2. Hopefully they get a boy and a girl. I love that for them. You have Elliot. Elliot is giddy. He's giddy because he's with Veronica. And I think it's because she's younger and she's prettier and she's, a gym rat. And so I don't know how that's going to go over, because she seems like she's very outspoken. She seems like she's someone who's able to stand her ground when needed. So I don't know how Elliot is going to feel when she starts standing on business. They talk about children. She talks about the fact that, she has endometriosis. And because of endometriosis, there's a possibility that she's infertile. He seems very open to the idea. He says, all I want is someone who wants to have children. And she says she wants to have children. And it's like, how have we gone to that from where you were when you told us that, you wanted a big family, and you told Bella Lawrence you only wanted 1 child, and you said that was a deal breaker. Suddenly you've woken up on a different side of bed, and now you're open to the idea of being married to someone who might not be able to give you children. Make that make sense? I think he's really smitten, and I think he's going to say and do everything or anything that will allow his bride to stay with him. I think he really wants to be on the show, and I think he's been given a caution by the producers that if you don't make this work, then you're out. And so I think this is why he's going all out to try and make sure that this marriage really works out. I don't know. We'll see. Elliot is going to Elliot, so I know he's going to let himself down very soon. You have Afina. Afina, I've always said this. I've always said Afina should have put a pause on the intimate side of their relationship, and she should have really used her head and not her heart or any other part of her to think, because they've been on a promo shoot and then she comes back. Adrian apparently was told that he could go home. They chose a couple of people for an extra shoot. Adrian wasn't amongst those people that were chosen, but his bride was. So he was furious. He went to the apartments, it seems, and he packed some of his stuff and then he stormed off. So she sort of calls him to say, where are you? And he is upset because he felt like, you should have been included in the promo. It's disrespectful that he wasn't included in the promo. And it's like, who else was not included? Now I'm curious to know who else was not included. Because if he is that furious that he wasn't included, who else was not included in this promo? He kicked off and he said that, he wouldn't come back until the producers put him in the promo. And it's like, oh my God. Are you a small child? Why are you throwing such a fit for nothing? Why are you kicking off? Because it doesn't make sense to someone like me, whereby he's kicking off that he wasn't included in the promo. Is he there for the promo or is he there to get married? Make it make sense. After his tantrum mix with, somebody else's bride, if I were him, I would sit down and keep quiet. Maybe that's the reason why he wasn't included in the promo. Maybe the producers have decided that we're not going to reward you for bad behavior. You're misbehaving with somebody else's wife, so we're not going to reward that. How does he know? So he kicks off. He says he's not coming back until they put him in the promo. He wants his wife to stick by him and is bitter that, she's not supporting him. And it's like, what support do you need? What support do you need, buddy? Make it make sense. What support do you need? Because at the end of the day, you were told you can't be in a promo. That's not reason enough for you to throw a fit. Really, that's not reason enough for you to throw a fit and sort of storm off and say, I'm not coming back until they give me what I want. What if they don't give you what you want? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Are you not coming back completely? This is why I say she should have used her head and not her heart or her body. But she sadly fell in love with whatever Adrian was doing. And now she's in the space whereby he's left her because he felt he was outdone or he was done bad by. So I can't wait. I think he's going to come back to the dinner party. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 14. Bye guys.